The sky was quiet. Too quiet. At 40,000 feet above the Nevada desert, a U.S. Air Force pilot adjusts his helmet and stares toward a glowing horizon. He doesn't turn away. He pushes the throttle forward. He's not running from the blast. He's flying into it. This is the story of the man who did the impossible. The American pilot who flew straight through a nuclear storm and lived to tell about it. A story of courage, chaos, and the thin line between bravery and madness. It's 1957. The Cold War hums like static behind every headline. For the first time in history, power isn't counted in soldiers or ships. It's measured in every detonation in the desert is a message to the world. America will not blink. In that silent wasteland, the US begins Operation Plumbbob. 29 nuclear tests designed to map the limits of destruction. Thousands of scientists, soldiers, and engineers watch from bunkers. But one question remains. Can a man and a machine survive the edge of an atomic blast? No computer can answer that. Only a pilot can. Inside a small briefing room, the mission is spelled out. Fly toward a detonation at altitude. Gather data inside the radioactive cloud. Return alive. If possible. The pilot signs his name without hesitation. He knows the odds. Radiation, shockwaves, vaporization. But someone has to find the truth. And today, that someone is him. Dawn over Nevada. Technicians bolt sensors to the jet's wings. The tower holding the bomb stands in the distance, still and unreal. A calm voice on the radio, "You are, go for takeoff." He rolls down the runway and climbs into history. 40,000 feet. Desert silence below. A countdown in his headset. T-10. 9, 8. He steadies the throttle. 3, 2, 1. Detonate. Light. Blinding, absolute light. The horizon disappears. The world dissolves into white fire. Then, the shockwave. It hits like a physical wall, slamming the jet mid-air. Instruments flicker. The cockpit shakes. He's tossed like a leaf inside the birth of a sun. The radiation meter spikes off-scale. For a moment, he doesn't know which way is up. He's inside the bomb now. Later, he'll describe it as flying through a living storm. A place where the air itself was on fire. No sound. Only pressure and color and fear. Yet somehow, the jet holds. He breaks through turbulence, banks left, begins his escape vector. At 20,000 feet, the glow fades. The desert reappears. Radio crackles. Test aircraft. Report status. He breathes out. Still airborne. Back on the runway, Geiger counters scream. Technicians swarm the plane in protective suits. The metal hums with radiation. But the pilot steps out. Helmet off, eyes steady. Alive. The data he brings back rewrites aviation science. America now knows how aircraft behave near atomic fire. How to shield, how to survive, how to fight in a nuclear age. He becomes the invisible backbone of Cold War strategy. Operation Plumbbob continues. 29 blasts in 1 year. Each one a step deeper into the unknown. Each one proves that America will master what it creates. To outsiders, it looked insane. To insiders, it was necessary. Deterrence depended on knowledge. On proving that even at the edge of apocalypse, the United States could still fly. That's the core of this story. Endurance. Strength isn't what you can destroy. It's what you can withstand. And this flight became the ultimate symbol of that. The readings gathered that day shaped the next generation of aircraft. The B-52 Stratofortress, the U-2 spy plane, the B-58 Hustler, all of them born from one man's flight through fire. Those lessons didn't stop at the sky. They carried into space. If America could survive an atomic blast, maybe it could survive the void. NASA's earliest safety models began here. But progress has a cost. Declassified files later revealed what wasn't spoken then. Radiation exposure, cancers, long-term sickness, the quiet casualties of the nuclear race. Many of those who served never saw recognition. Their names stayed buried. Their data lived on. The pilot himself retired in silence. A man who flew into light and then faded back into it. And yet, his single mission changed everything, because it proved that fear could be faced. Not just studied from afar. That's the difference between theory and courage. He didn't do it for glory. He did it because someone had to know. When you strip away politics and secrecy, you're left with one man staring at the end of the world. And choosing to keep flying. That's the real face of American power. Not arrogance, not domination, but the will to face the unimaginable and keep moving forward. The Cold War stretched on. Nations built bigger bombs, faster jets, deadlier plans. But no one ever repeated his mission. They didn't need to. He had already answered the question. Could a pilot survive a nuclear explosion? Yes, once. And that was enough. From that point on, deterrence became doctrine. America didn't just have weapons. It had proof it could withstand its own power. Today, his story is almost forgotten, buried in dusty archives,